This is how IBS gets diagnosed, and this is your best treatment plan. IBS stands for irritable bowel syndrome. It's essentially where the GI doctor can't figure out where the inflammation is. They can't figure out which digestive organ is causing your symptoms, so they just throw their hands up and they go, I don't know, you have IBS. So just so that they can give you something. This is a very lazy way to do it because there's only so many organs that can cause symptoms. Let's just go over them one by one and kind of help you understand. So first you have the mouth and the esophagus. So it's pretty easy to tell if you have symptoms in the mouth, like you'll either have a white tongue or you have mouth ulcers or something like that going on. But then we get to the esophagus. And again, if you know something's wrong in the esophagus, there's only so many things here. It's going to burn. You'll have trouble swallowing. And if you have trouble swallowing, that's the muscles. I think GI doctors forget, and especially holistic experts, that this whole entire digestive tract is aligned with muscles. It moves things forward, or emergency, you shouldn't eat that. It moves things backwards and we vomit if it hasn't reached the point of no return. Usually stomach symptoms don't get thrown under the IBS label because usually you'll have stomach ulcers and they burn and they can do an endoscopy and see pretty well down there. Then when we get into the small intestine, it becomes hard to see things because the only way you can see what's going on in the small intestine is with a capsule endoscopy, which I think is the best way to see what's going on, but doctors don't like doing that. Or they do an MRI or a CT scan or an X-ray of the small intestine. It can be hard at times to interpret unless there's like a really big issue going on. It can be hard to interpret what's really going on in the small intestine. With the colon, it's somewhat easier to see what's going on there because they do the colonoscopy, they stick a camera up your butt, and it's pretty easy to see if there's inflammation there. They'll do the endoscopy, oh, I don't see anything wrong. They'll do a colonoscopy, they'll go, oh, I don't see anything wrong. Then they'll do an MRI, CT scan, they go, oh, I don't see anything wrong, but you're still having symptoms. What could possibly be causing the symptoms? Well, we didn't look at what the intestinal muscles are doing, and we also didn't look at what the gallbladder is doing, or the pancreas is doing. Those are very important digestive organs. Now, if somebody has green, yellow, bubbly, like burning poops, then that's it's the gallbladder, and it comes out like fire. It really stinks. Like it stinks. Like everybody, when you have these diarrheas, it's diarrhea. So if you're IBS diarrhea, chances are it's your gallbladder going in and out of overdrive. And for men, that's caused by a territorial anger conflict. And for women, it can be territorial anger or an identity conflict. It's like, and this is gonna have to do with like your relationships. There's like a tribe member in your territory pissing you off, making you angry. And it's like in and out of overdrive, in and out of overdrive. It's putting your gallbladder ineffectively into overdrive to help you deal with this tribe member that's making your life miserable. And you might be depressed about it as well. It's controlled from this part of the brain. The next thing are the intestinal muscles. So if it's diarrhea, you're gonna have this more of an attitude of what is crap I wanna get rid of, but I can't. Like think about it logically. You worked so hard, especially in nature. You worked, like let's pretend we're a wolf for a second, we have diarrhea. In the wild, that becomes a problem really fast. I just spent 1,000 calories, probably more, trying to hunt down some deer. The deer kicked me in the face, stabbed me with the antlers, but I was finally able to kill the deer. So, okay, now there's more calories and nutrients out the window healing these wounds. And then I had to fight off vultures and other bigger wolves from stealing stealing meat from me. And so I finally got to eat this meat after spending 2,000 calories, and I get diarrhea. It becomes very hard to survive when we're in this calorie deficit all the time, especially in the wild. We can get by a lot more in society, but in nature, it becomes a problem really fast. But it's this conflict, putting your gut in and out of overdrive. That was my main issue, was the gallbladder. But if you have IBS-C, constipation, what is something you're trying to hold on to, but you can't? You know, you might be taking this too literal, but it's your subconscious perception, which you aren't consciously aware of. This is a very new idea that a lot of us haven't been exposed to yet. This is your subconscious perception, not your conscious perception, but your subconscious perception of the problem. This idiot is getting in the way of making me money. I want to get rid of him, but I can't. It's a very different attitude than I can't hold on to money and I'm sad and depressed about it. Constipation, you're going to have that attitude. There's so many details I'm leaving out, but I have a free webinar that's a mini version of my 13-day protocol. This is exactly what I did to get better from Crohn's, colitis, and I've helped many people with IBS. You have to deal with this subconscious trauma that you have that we haven't fully gotten over with on a subconscious level. It's the only way to get better from IBS. You know, the people who go on a diet or they take this or that supplement, and you know, they swear, oh this fixed me, this fixed me, is this supplement. It's just simply because they were lucky enough to resolve the conflict as well. But you'll see within a couple of years, those people will be back watching gut health videos like, oh my God, it went away for 2 years and I don't know why it came back. I've been eating so healthy. It's because the conflict came back. Check out my webinar. It's better than any gut health course on the market. It's absolutely free.